The NFL world can't stop talking about Shadur Sanders, and this time, the pressure on the Cleveland Browns has hit its boiling point. Everywhere you look, from talk shows to social media, fans are asking the same question. How much longer before the Browns finally hand the keys of their offense to Shadur Sanders? The conversation has reached a fever pitch, with analysts like Shannon Sharpe and Ocho Chad Johnson tearing into the Browns' leadership for continuing to overlook the one quarterback who seems ready to turn the franchise around. It all started with a simple truth that's become impossible to ignore. The Browns' offense is broken. The defense is elite, but they can only carry so much of the weight. As one player put it bluntly, it's backbreaking because as a defense, we know we're good enough. But right now, our offense can't help us. That frustration echoes throughout the locker room, the sense that while the defense is doing its part, the offense is stuck spinning its wheels. Then came the fire. Ocho decided to say what everyone else was thinking. In a passionate rant that's now gone viral, he defended Shadur Sanders with unfiltered conviction. He didn't mince words. According to Ocho, all the noise surrounding the team, from draft day politics to ownership statements, is nothing more than a distraction designed to shake the confidence of a rising star. They're trying to break young bull, Ocho said flatly. That's all this is. They're trying to break him before he even gets started. He made it clear that the critics attacking Shedeur aren't offering real analysis. They're trying to control the narrative. Ocho even went as far as to say that Sanders is the best quarterback option Cleveland currently has. He pointed out the obvious. If Shadur can make plays with second and third string players during preseason, what do people think will happen when he finally gets the real weapons? Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, and the rest of the starters at his disposal. His tone was unshakable. If I can do this with my 3s and 4s and 2s out here in a preseason game, what you think gonna happen when I got Jeudy, Njoku, and them boys as my weaponry? Then, he hit the point that silenced the room. All he's done, all his life, is win. That statement hung in the air, undeniable. Shadur's career from college to preseason has been defined by composure, leadership, and results. He's not just talented, he's a proven competitor. But Ocho wasn't done. He turned his attention to the organization itself, questioning the decision to elevate Dillon Gabriel, a player who had success at Oregon but hasn't faced the reality of the NFL yet. This ain't Oregon anymore, Ocho warned. This, the NFL, grown men with mouths to feed. You can't fake it out here. His point was simple. The NFL isn't about college hype or reputation. It's about performance under pressure, and in that department, Shedeur has already shown he belongs. Ocho's frustration went beyond the quarterback battle. He called out years of dysfunction in Cleveland's front office, reminding everyone that the Browns haven't had a reliable, long-term quarterback since Bernie Kosar back in the 1980s. That's mid-80s, he said, exasperated. That's no disrespect to the quarterbacks who've come through, but tell me, have we had one for a decade we could build around? No, you had a couple years of Baker and that's it. It was a brutal assessment, but he wasn't wrong. The Browns' history at quarterback reads like a list of missed opportunities and half measures. Flashes of promise followed by seasons of disappointment. And then Shannon Sharpe stepped in. And the debate went nuclear. Shannon agreed that the Browns were mishandling the situation, but he took the criticism even deeper. He accused the organization of never truly believing in Shedeur to begin with. They didn't draft him to be the future, Shannon said. They drafted him as a safety pick, a backup, a development project. That's the problem. To Shannon, the Browns' mistake isn't just underestimating Shedur's talent, it's underestimating his mentality. The kid's got poise, talent, and leadership, Shannon said, but the organization doesn't have the vision to see it. He argued that instead of nurturing their young quarterback, the Browns are treating him like a placeholder. Despite the flashes of brilliance he's already shown, they continue to hide him behind the curtain. Refusing to give him real reps with the starters, Ocho backed that up, hammering home how the Browns' hesitation is not about readiness but control. They know who quarterback money gonna be, he said. We already know. The depth chart don't mean nothing. For him, it's about politics, the kind of behind-the-scenes maneuvering that has haunted Cleveland for years. The franchise has a long history of playing it safe, avoiding bold decisions, even when boldness is exactly what's needed. And that's what makes this moment so frustrating for fans. They've seen this movie before. They've watched the Browns cycle through quarterback after quarterback, always finding an excuse not to commit. The team's unwillingness to embrace Shadur feels like history repeating itself. A fear of change dressed up as patience. Ocho's passion was unmistakable. He looked straight into the camera and called the front office out by name. You've got a quarterback who's been a winner his whole life, who's ready to compete right now, and you're sitting on him? How much longer before you recognize what's in front of you? His frustration echoed through every sports show for days. And as Shannon kept the heat on, connected the dots that everyone was thinking, but no one wanted to say it's not about ability. It's about attitude, not Shadur's, but theirs. They're afraid to trust him with the team because he doesn't fit the mold. He's confident, outspoken, and fearless. And that makes people uncomfortable. Shannon argued that this hesitation is costing the Browns valuable time and possibly their future. Both Shannon and Ocho pointed out how absurd it is that the Browns continue to evaluate Shedeur with backup players instead of giving him a real chance to throw to his top receivers. He's been forced to work with second stringers in practice and preseason games, yet still manages to impress. The logic is simple. If he's this good with limited resources, imagine what he could do surrounded by the team's best. For Ocho, that's the whole point. Shadur doesn't want handouts. He wants opportunity. He's earned the right to compete fairly. He's not asking to be given the job. He's asking to be judged on the same level as the starters. That hunger, that confidence, is what separates him. If I can do this with my 2s and 3s, he said, what you think gonna happen when I got my real weapons? At the center of this storm lies one undeniable truth. Shadur Sanders has the drive, the talent, and the discipline to be more than just another backup in Cleveland. The organization's hesitation isn't a reflection of his ability. It's a reflection of their fear of taking a risk. Shannon and Ocho may approach it from different angles, but their message is the same: the Browns. Old school mentality is holding them back. They've spent decades searching for stability, for a quarterback they could build around. Now they have one young, fearless, and battle-tested, and they're still hesitating. It's the kind of indecision that defines franchises for decades. Ocho ended his rant with the words that perfectly sum up the entire debate. All he's done, all his life is win. And it's true. From college dominance to preseason poise, Shadur has consistently proven himself. The question now is whether the Browns will finally recognize it or continue repeating the same mistakes that have haunted them for 40 years. The Browns are at a crossroads. They can either keep playing it safe and risk wasting the best opportunity they've had in decades, or they can hand the reins to Shadur Sanders, the player with the confidence, composure, and competitive fire to change everything. So what do you think? Are the Browns making a massive mistake by holding back Shadur Sanders, or are they right to keep him in the background a little longer? Do you agree with Ocho and Shannon's fiery criticism, or do you think the Browns are playing the long game? And if you were sitting in that front office right now, would you give Shadur the chance to lead this team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, because one thing's for sure, this debate is just getting started.